What if I told you that stress doesn't just make you tired, it actually makes you older? Not in your imagination, not emotionally, but biologically. Right now, in your cells, in your skin, in your brain. And the scary part, most people don't even realize it's happening. We all think of aging as something that just happens with time. Birthdays pass. Hair turns gray. Skin wrinkles. Energy dips. But science has made something very clear over the past 2 decades. Aging is not just about time. It's about wear and tear. And one of the biggest sources of that wear and tear is chronic stress. When your body experiences stress, it releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. In small doses, this is helpful. It sharpens your focus. It prepares you to react. It can even save your life. But when stress becomes constant, when deadlines, financial pressure, relationship conflict, lack of sleep, and emotional strain never seem to stop, your body stays in survival mode. And survival mode was never meant to be permanent. Chronic stress changes your immune system. It disrupts your hormones. It damages your cells. It accelerates inflammation. It even shortens something called telomeres, protective caps at the ends of your DNA. And shorter telomeres are strongly associated with faster biological aging. So today, we're going to talk about 10 signs that stress may be aging you faster than you realize. Some of these may surprise you. Some may hit close to home. But awareness is power. Because once you recognize the signs, you can begin to reverse the damage. The first sign is persistent fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. We all feel tired sometimes, but stress-related fatigue feels different. You wake up exhausted. You drink coffee, maybe 2 cups. You push through the day, but there's a heaviness in your body that never really lifts. When stress becomes chronic, your adrenal glands are constantly releasing cortisol. Over time, this disrupts your natural cortisol rhythm. Normally, cortisol is highest in the morning to help you wake up and lowest at night so you can sleep. But chronic stress flattens this curve. You may feel wired at night and drained during the day. This constant hormonal imbalance accelerates aging because your body never fully repairs itself. Deep sleep is when growth hormone is released, when tissues rebuild, when the brain clears out waste. If stress interferes with that process, you're aging without recovery. The second sign is thinning hair or increased hair. Hair follicles are extremely sensitive to stress hormones. High cortisol levels can push hair into what's called the resting phase, leading to a condition known as telogen effluvium. This means more hair falls out than usual, but it goes deeper than appearance. Hair health reflects overall cellular health. Chronic stress reduces blood flow to the scalp, increases inflammation, and disrupts nutrient absorption. All of these factors accelerate biological aging at the cellular level. The third sign is more wrinkles and dull skin. Your skin is often the first place stress shows up visibly. Cortisol breaks down collagen, the protein that keeps skin firm and elastic. Less collagen means more fine lines and sagging. Stress also increases oxidative stress in the body. Oxidative stress is essentially cellular rusting. Free radicals damage your skin cells, your DNA, and your mitochondria, the energy factories inside your cells. Over time, this damage accumulates. Inflammation triggered by stress can also worsen conditions like acne, eczema, and rosacea. When your body is constantly in fight-or-flight mode, it diverts resources away from skin repair and toward survival functions. The fourth sign is brain fog and memory problems. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there, or struggled to find simple words in conversation? Chronic stress shrinks the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory and learning. Studies have shown that prolonged exposure to high cortisol levels can impair neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to form new connections. Over time, this not only affects memory, but also accelerates cognitive aging. Stress also disrupts sleep, and sleep is essential for memory consolidation. Without deep restorative sleep, your brain doesn't get the chance to process and store information properly. The fifth sign is increased belly fat. This one surprises many people. Even if your diet hasn't changed, chronic stress can lead to fat accumulation, especially around the abdomen. Cortisol signals your body to store energy. From an evolutionary perspective, this made sense. If you are facing famine or danger, storing fat improved survival. But in modern life, The threat is often psychological emails, traffic, financial pressure. High cortisol increases appetite, especially for high sugar and high fat foods. It also promotes visceral fat storage. Visceral fat isn't just cosmetic. It surrounds your organs and produces inflammatory chemicals that accelerate aging and increase the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and metabolic disorders. The sixth sign is getting sick more often. If you notice that, you catch every cold that goes around. Stress may be weakening your immune system. Chronic stress suppresses immune function. Initially, cortisol has anti-inflammatory effects, but over time, immune cells become less sensitive to cortisol's regulation. This leads to immune dysfunction and chronic low-grade inflammation. Inflammation is now recognized as one of the core drivers of aging. Scientists even have a term for it. It's the slow, persistent inflammation that damages tissues over years. When stress keeps your immune system off balance, your body becomes less efficient at fighting infections and more prone to long-term inflammatory damage. The seventh sign is digestive issues. Your gut and brain are deeply connected through something called the gut-brain axis. When you're stressed, blood flow is diverted away from digestion. Your body doesn't prioritize breaking down food when it thinks you're in danger. Chronic stress alters your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria that help regulate digestion, immunity, and even mood. An unhealthy gut microbiome is linked to accelerated aging, metabolic disorders, and cognitive decline. You may notice bloating, constipation, diarrhea, acid reflux, or unexplained stomach pain. Over time, poor nutrient absorption further contributes to cellular aging. The eighth sign is muscle tension and joint pain. When you're stressed, your muscles tighten. This is a protective reflex. But if stress is constant, your muscles never fully relax. Chronic muscle tension reduces circulation and increases inflammation in tissue. Elevated stress hormones can also worsen inflammatory joint conditions and contribute to pain sensitivity. Pain itself becomes a stressor, creating a cycle that further accelerates aging. The ninth sign is mood changes and emotional reactivity. Chronic stress alters neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. It can increase anxiety, irritability, and even symptoms of depression. Emotional volatility is not just psychological, it reflects changes in brain structure and chemistry. Long-term stress can overactivate the amygdala, the brain's fear center, making you more reactive and less resilient. Emotional stress also impacts cardiovascular health. Episodes of anger and anxiety increase heart rate and blood pressure, putting strain on blood vessels and accelerating vascular aging. And finally, the 10th sign is a loss of joy and motivation. When stress becomes your baseline, your nervous system stays in high alert. Over time, this leads to burnout. Burnout is more than feeling tired. It's a state of emotional exhaustion, cynicism, and reduced sense of accomplishment. Chronic stress reduces dopamine signaling, which is essential for motivation and pleasure. Without it, life feels flat, and this lack of engagement can further accelerate aging because meaningful social connection and purpose are powerful protective factors against biological decline. But here's the hopeful part. Stress aging is not a life sentence. Telomeres can stabilize. Inflammation can decrease. Brain function can improve. Skin can regenerate. The body is remarkably resilient when given the right conditions. In the next part, we'll explore what's actually happening inside your cells when stress accelerates aging and, more importantly, what science-backed strategies can help slow it down and even reverse some of the damage. Stress doesn't just affect your mood. It quietly speeds up aging inside your body. From wrinkles and fatigue to memory issues and belly fat, chronic stress leaves real biological marks. The good news: when you manage stress through sleep, movement.com, breathing, and meaningful connection, your body can repair and slow the aging process. Protect your peace. It protects your years.